doing it. You supposed to be happy you sitting there with Kid L. Why you mad?
The Kid L podcast.
We got Paul Elia in the building. How are you doing today, bro?
Player, I'm doing good, man. Good to see you.
Very good to see you too, man. I was watching a lot of your Instagram clips. You have a lot of your comedy stand-up on there.
Yeah.
It's all hilarious, man. Usually got a duo going on where you're going back and forth with other comedians, which is really awesome to see. We were just talking about California. So you were born in California, but you come to Detroit?
Yeah. I was in California till I was 7, and then I moved to Detroit. So, like, Detroit, like, really raised me, bro. Like, people say, where are you from? I'm like, I'm from Detroit. Like, but your birth certificate says San Diego. And I'm just like, nah.
Because you spent a lot of your life here, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
talk about what particular areas, where it's more suburbs, Metro Detroit,
Southfield.
Southfield. Okay, cool. Talk about just growing up and how that led you into making and getting into comedy.
Shit, player. Man, bro, I was funny so people wouldn't beat me up. That's why I had to be funny, because I was like, you know, I wasn't like the biggest kid, and I just loved to talk shit. So then bullies would just like beat me up. And also they saw me as like weak. You know, I grew up in an all black, all Middle Eastern neighborhood. So people would see me and then they're like, who's this goofy ass kid with big ass glasses? And he's trying to be cool with everybody. Let's beat his ass.
Right.
Yeah. So I got my ass beat several times by a lot of women too, actually.
Huh.
Yeah.
Women? Like girls or women?
Both.
Oh, damn, dude.
Yeah, shit's crazy, bro.
Have you ever won a fight?
I won some fights. Well, I started winning fights, but before I had a pretty bad record, bro. I was like 0-20. Yeah. I was getting my ass beat all the time, bro. Like, I got my ass beat once, and then I remember my dad like didn't stop the fight for a second, and then he stopped it. He was like, I just wanted to see if you can win. And I didn't win, and then I was losing it. He was like, all right, yeah, stop. Yes, but in order to get the bullies to stop picking on me, I would do impressions of people. And then the bullies would like be like, yo, do an impression of James or I'll fuck you up. And then I'd do an impression of James, and then they'd be like, yeah, Paul's cool. Yeah. So comedy was like, you know, way to get motherfuckers to not.
Was it a racial thing that you were kind of being outcasted, or was it like your personality was just too out there for people?
It's a mixture, bro. Like I think it's a cocktail of reasons. Like, it's never one thing. It's not like they see my skin color and they're like, that's the reason. It's like that, and also I would talk a lot of shit, and also I would try to insert myself, and also I would try to like show my value in any way so I can make friends and shit.
Were your parents from back home?
Iraq, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So me and you both share some type of ethnicity similarity. I'm Chaldean. And you are?
I mean, I'm starting to learn a lot more about Chaldean. I mean, Chaldean and Assyrian is our ethnic background. Our ethnic background is Assyrian. Chaldean really just became a religion within the last 300 years, because we were all Assyrian. And then there was a group of Assyrians that were in Iraq that wanted to follow the Roman Catholic Church of the Eastern Rite. So the Pope was like, cool, you guys are Chaldeans then. So a lot of Chaldeans, they think in the book of Genesis, when they mention Chaldeans, they're like, oh, that's us. But those have no relation to modern day Chaldeans. So when people ask me my ethnic background, I say Assyrian, but I always try to mention Chaldean Assyrian as much as I can.
Yeah, no, that's a cool way to put it, man, because it's true. It's not like what we think it is. There's actually like a whole history behind it. I think it's funny when we try to take Chaldeans and say it's like the biggest part of what it was, when there's something way further behind in the history of what being Chaldean is, or Assyrian is. Talk a little bit about your family, man, because I know being in the entertainment industry is a difficult thing for parents to understand. They don't get it right away, right? Like, I'm going to be a rapper, I'm going to be a comedian, or I'm going to be in the movies. Like, they're like, what's happening? Like, you're supposed to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I really had to make a big decision. I was like, am I willing to give up everything for this? And I was, bro. I was, man. Like, I wasn't going to let my parents, I wasn't going to let them tell me what I'm going to do. And they put a lot of pressure on me to go to school. But I used all that shit. Like, when I moved to LA, I used all that shit to just fuel me, bro. Like, I was grinding hard, player. Going hard. And then even I got into stand-up comedy because, you know, when I was in Detroit, I was working on a TV show as a crew member. I was a stand-in for Michael Imperioli. I don't know if you watch The Sopranos. He plays,
of course.
Yeah, he plays Christopher.
Yeah.
So we both look like him, really.
Yeah, we kind of do.
yeah. So he was shooting a TV show in Detroit, and I was his stand-in on the show. So I just learned everything about production. Like while I was on set, I would look at what the grip and electric are doing, what the DP is doing, what the director's doing, what the actors are doing, what the writers are doing. Like, and I just learned everything about television making while I was there. So while I was there, I had all this knowledge, and I'm like, bro, God didn't put me here for no reason. I wasn't put in this position to absorb all this knowledge just so I can go be a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So I just took that leap of faith, bro.
Was that one of the first opportunities you got in professional entertainment? Like being in that studio and being in that set was like the first time you actually entered entertainment?
Yeah.
That was the first day. Like, so would you find that on like Craigslist? Like they were looking for people, or like how'd you find that position?
Yeah, well, I mean, before that, I was doing student films. There was this, I think it's called the Motion Picture Institute.
Art of Michigan.
Oh, you know about MPI?
Oh, yeah, I know MPI. Yeah.
Player?
I dodged that bullet a long time.
Because you were filming. You're still a filmmaker.
Yeah, I'm studying film. I've been trying to break into it, but that was one of the first organized, places that you could go and learn film hands on. Right?
Yeah.
It was this and that place in Grand Rapids. I forget the name of it. Specs Howard was doing
Specs
it as well.
Howard.
Yep. But I was like, my friend had went and he said, I'm spending $50,000 on this film school stuff. I was like, awesome. And then 3 years later, he came back. He's like, I'm broke and I have no job. And I was like, I'm not doing that, man. I can't afford to go broke for nothing. But did you check out MPI? Like,
yeah, well, I went there to audition for their student films.
Oh, okay.
So I did like my first audition ever. Like I showed up with a passport photo. I didn't even have a headshot. I just had a little like passport photo and I just gave it to him.
Brilliant.
And then I remember the dude looked at it and he was like, looked at it and looked at me, and I was like, I also got a serious one. You know, so I had different ones for like one of me smiling and one of me being serious. And then he was just like, all right, cool, let's just see you audition. But also I was reading the script, I'm like, the script sucks. I'm like, you should cast someone with a passport photo. This is passport photo level writing that you're giving me right now. And then I got a part in 3 of these joints.
Wow.
And then I did them, and, you know, obviously they were, you know, not very good, but now that I look at it, but back then I looked at it and I was like, yo, I need to send this to like Drake. And I don't know why I thought he was the answer, but I was like, I think if he likes it, then I'll be in movies and shit with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then people were like, why don't you send it to Bruce Willis? And then I'm just like, no, maybe I can connect with Drake more on a certain level. Yeah, so I had a very delusional concept of how to break into the industry.
And it just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, you're right.
It was ambitious and it just didn't correlate in any type of way.
Yeah.
Very, very Chaldean of you.
Yeah. Yeah, I fucked up.
Talk about, so how did that lead you into getting into work in the studio for the first time? Like, how did you actually get the position to be the stand-in or the part of the crew?
Oh, man. I was at Lifetime Fitness and I was playing basketball, and it was like, there was a bunch of dudes that were like doing extra work and like background people, and they were like all about this life. So like this one dude, I was in Lifetime and he knew I was like acting and stuff too. Like I was doing some student films, and he's like, dude, you know, there's this extras agency and they basically pay you to be on set, and sometimes they might let you talk. And I was like, they let motherfuckers talk? I'm like, I'm trying to talk. He's like, yeah, bro, my boy did it and they let him say something. And I'm like, that's what I want to do. So I joined this agency.
Yeah.
And then they had me do background work. And then I was like, as a background person, I was like, I'm going to say something. Like if there's a time for me to say something, I'm just going to say something, just be in the movie, just force the situation. But then I never had the opportunity to do that. And then also when I did, I was like, I don't think this works this way, bro. I don't think you just say something and be in a movie. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm not going to do this no more. I'm not going to do background work. I'm only going to, even if it's a small thing, I'm just going to act. That's what I want to do. And then they hit me up and were like, hey, there's a TV show shooting in Detroit. We looked at your photo and we sent it to production and they like you and they want you to screen test. So I just showed up and it was just me and Michael Imperioli standing next to each other. And then they're like, yeah, he's the stand-in.
That's so awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So I can literally watch his stuff right now and it's actually you instead?
Nah, like I didn't do stunt double stuff. It's like,
damn.
yes, yeah, that'd be wild. You see him jumping off a building and shit.
But like,
oh my god,
they used your face as. I mean, did they use you as a way to kind of reference that that's him or
no? Just like how standing in works is. So the actors will show up on set and they're wearing like regular clothes, and then they'll show up and then they'll rehearse the scene, and then they go into their trailer. They go through hair and makeup. They go through wardrobe. And while they're doing all that, camera is setting up lights and everything else. And I'm just standing in as him. And I'm rehearsing the scene as him.
Oh, cool.
The way he rehearsed it. So when he shows up, they're ready to go.
Right.
So it's basically
the
used
likeness,
to save time.
Yeah, it's the likeness so that the cast is ready for the relative familiar face. So it's easier for them when he actually gets on there.
Yeah.
Still pretty sick, dude. Still pretty sick. I'm sure you could have got some numbers for that, like some of the actresses around there or something.
Oh, bro, all these actresses were trying to holler. Like they were like, "Oh, damn!" Like, and that was my first taste of like what status does when it comes to women. Like they're like, not that, I think it's whack, but I do think that there are some people who look at status, whether it's a man or a woman, they're like, I want to be associated with this. People do that all the time. So while I was on set, it's crazy. It was like all these women are like DMing me, messaging me, and well, DMing was like Facebook message at the time. And they're just like, "Oh, I saw you on set. We should hang out." You know what I'm saying? And which was wild enough, bro. Like I was a horny ass dude. Like I got a girl now, so I'm not about that life no more. But player, I would just ignore these messages. I'm like, I'm about business right now.
Wow.
Yeah, bro. Because I think I just seen too many people like blinded by vagina, and I don't want to be one of those people. I was like, I'm gonna be successful, bro. I'm gonna be a star, and because I could do that shit as anything, bro. Like if I have an opportunity, why would I waste it? I'm not gonna waste it on sex. I know a lot of dudes do that, bro. It's ruined so many people's lives, but that's why I'm so grateful, bro. At an early age, early in the game, I was like hip to this idea.
Yeah, because it can become a huge distraction, right? At the end of the day, especially in the entertainment industry, the last thing you need is a distraction in any type of way. Whether it's hooking up with 4 women in one night, or if it's like
just tell me your weekend,
or if it's a girl that's just like not in the same page and she's holding you back from like going to shows or going to do this and being locked down or tied down in a certain sense. It's like you can't have that when you're in the entertainment industry. It's very volatile. The chances of success are extremely difficult. So you need every ounce of energy and focus to succeed. Right at the end of the day.
Yeah, bro. Like I got tested big time, bro. Like I was working with Ray Shremmerd. You say what?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was working with Ray Shremmerd on a TV pilot. It never went anywhere. Like it played briefly on this streaming service, but bro, basically I got called to do a TV pilot with Ray Shremmerd and myself, and I was starring in this TV show concept. And it was about them trying to find their next hit song, which was from the album Shrem Life 2. And they basically made one long music video TV pilot to promote their album release. So that's what Interscope, they had this idea to do this. And they picked me to be the interviewer. It's like a mockumentary style. And bro, we were filming with some of the most beautiful women in Miami. And I was on set, focus energy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I was like, I was so afraid of like losing the opportunity because I was like, man, how much would this suck if I worked so hard and then all this shit just got thrown away because I was blinded by pussy.
Yeah, I was watching Pauly Shore's like documentary one time, and there was like a whole portion about how he was a sex addict and how much it was affecting his life. When I was watching it when I was younger, like that's fire. But then when I got older, when I started actually experiencing it, I was like, oh, I get why this is not a good thing anymore. Because yeah, dude. Okay, think about it like this, right? When you're in the game, you get access to things that general man doesn't get. Like just general guys don't get the opportunity to sleep with multiple women or be able to slide in 20 DMs and you could hook up with 5 of those girls. Most guys will send 1,000 DMs and not even get one response, right? So when you have that opportunity out of nowhere, it's like, how do you not do that? But you were smart enough to stay disciplined and realize like there's no like major benefit to it. Like there's no major benefit to just sleeping with a bunch of women while you're trying to work in the entertainment industry, right?
Yeah, man. I mean, I was selective of like who I shared my time with, but I was just like, man, when I'm working, bro, I'm working.
Talk about what happened after that. So you're working on the show and you're a stand-in, but then how does your career progress from there?
So as a stand-in, they would let me say the lines.
Oh.
So normally like they would give me the script and I would be completely off book. And then I would just show up like, all right, let's rehearse the scene. They're like, all right, action. And then I would show up to the other stand-ins and I'm playing a detective and I'd be like, where's the body? And then the stand-in's like, the body left the place 2 days ago. And I would just be in full acting energy, like no script in hand. And they're like, this motherfucker's off book. He knows the lines better than the actor.
Wow.
And in my mind, I was like, bro, in case he dies. What up? I know all this shit. Like, that was the level of preparedness I had. I'm like, bro, you never know what might happen. They might just be like, why don't you play this part? I'm like, yep, ready to go. So that level of preparedness impressed them enough where they gave me a role on the last episode.
Oh, cool.
So they gave me a part in the last episode. And then once I did that, I was like, this is all the information I need to let me know that I'm ready to just move to Los Angeles and make it happen. So I moved to LA right when the show was over. And I was staying at homie's house. Her name's Lisa Wiegand. She was the DP of the show. And she let me stay there for free for 9 months. Whoa. So for 9 months, I was building my network, doing stand-up, doing plays, just doing everything I could. And then just kept grinding, got on my feet, ended up living in an apartment, lived on my own, kept grinding, working at a nightclub, all these different spots, bro, working as a caterer, working as an unlicensed massage therapist.
Fire.
Yeah, bro.
That's fire. Like for women, right?
That was, it was men and women.
Right. Talk about what year that was too, kind of, so give us a scheme on like what was going on in the entertainment industry at that time.
Yeah, that was in 2011.
Okay.
Is when I moved to LA, April 2011.
Did you? What was the first kind of act that you got into? Because comedy doesn't sound like you were getting into comedy in Michigan. Like, what was the first thing?
Well, bro, when I moved to LA, I immediately got cast in a play, and the play was written by one of the producers of the show Justified on FX. And this dude, his name's Gary Lennon. He had a bunch of TV credits, so I had a pretty significant role in this dude's play. So right when I did this play, I got a commercial agent, I got a manager. The manager I was with is this dude named Brian Medavoy. He was like one of the top managers in the game. And then I was auditioning for like huge parts immediately. So I was like, bro, I fucking am about to blow the fuck up. That's the way I was thinking. And I auditioned for a bunch of shit, didn't get cast. Manager dropped me.
Yeah.
Wasn't booking shit. And I'm sitting at home trying to find auditions, trying to find shit to do while I'm working catering jobs. And then I'm like, man, I got to do something, bro. I can't just sit here wait for a phone call. So I started doing stand-up. And then that was like the creative outlet I needed. And then I was doing stand-up 5-6 times a night.
Whoa.
Yeah, bro. I was on some, and it's hard to do that in LA. It is hard to go up that much in LA because things are so spread apart. But I basically, where I was living, I found a pocket of spots where I can just bounce around and I can just go up multiple times in one day. So I was doing stand-up every day, bro. Like I was working during the day, doing day events, and at night, stand-up. If I had an audition, I would just tell my job I got an audition, or they would fire me, and then I'd find another job, and then I would just use whatever money I had to live, really, you know?
Yeah, because I know that the prices to survive out there can't be easy for an entertainer. You were basically a starving artist to some degree, right?
Yeah, bro. I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment with a white rapper named Scripture. Straight up. And that was tough. That was tough. We shared a room, him and I. I was paying $600 a month. He was paying $500. I was like, why are you paying less than me? And he was just like, come on, man. And then I never really like questioned it. I was like, all right.
Yeah. Strong words. Saying, come on, man.
Yeah. What a wild, like, just like, you know, sometimes like someone like, because sometimes people would owe me money and shit. I'm like, yo, bro, you going to pay me? They're just like, man. And that's it. And I'm just like, all right.
That's how I feel when I go to the rich side of Somerset Mall. Every time I try to walk to the Gucci store, they have like a security guy outside, and he just gives me a look before I even get in. It's like, turn around, bro. He's just like, you don't belong in here. I'm like, oh shit. All right.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I don't even mind. I'm not going to the Gucci store today.
Yeah, so, I don't even want to go in there anyway.
So you're out there, you're a starving artist, right? You're doing everything. You're trying to break in, and then you're figuring out that at least you can work on your act if you're constantly doing comedy and getting exposure at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Now growing up, you were doing comedy to survive.
Yeah.
And now you're doing comedy to survive, right? So it's kind of like two different sides of it, from Michigan to California. Talk about the first times getting on stage. What was the experience?
Bro, the first time I ever did stand-up was in Detroit. And I did it in 2011 in front of 2,000 people at MGM Casino.
Whoa.
Yeah, the show I was working on, Detroit 187, one of the actors on that show is a comedian named Sean Majumder. He's a Canadian comic. And he was doing this huge benefit event. And I was like, bro, I do stand-up. And he goes, you do? And I'm like, yeah, man, I do stand-up comedy, bro. And he goes, cool, well, why don't you open up the show? I'll give you some time. So I never did comedy.
No.
And I had a very delusional mentality. I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do stand up. Shit's easy, bro. It was bad. I resent your tone.
So with silence?
Bro, it was worse than silence because the thing is, like, I would say a joke and then I'd hear someone in the back, like all the way in the back, he's like, man, what the fuck? The thing is, I'm like, shit, I can hear my man's having a conversation with the dude next to him about what's going on. And the thing is, I would say jokes with like so much like emphasis. Like, and I'm like, and then that happened. And then it's quiet. And then the dude's like, man, he ain't good. Bro. And then like, I remember I heard this guy, like, I remember I was like towards I knew I had to get off stage. I had like more jokes, but like, these aren't working. And I knew it was bad because like at the end, the guy was like, he goes, you got my valet ticket? And like, if I could hear someone ask someone where their valet ticket is.
Boy.
Yeah, man, that ain't.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
So you kind of lied to get the stage time, right?
Yeah.
What happened after that? Did you keep doing stand-up in Michigan, or did you take a break on it after that?
Oh, I took a break, bro. Yeah. I remember I brought a girl there, too.
Dude, yeah, that's bad, man.
Oh, bro, I brought a girl there. My whole family came.
Why?
I think they wanted to support.
I think, because you didn't realize, you said you were being delusional. You didn't realize you didn't have the experience to actually make it work the way you thought it was going to work.
Yeah, I thought I was going to. Bro, I straight up thought I was going to go on stage and just smash. And then Kevin Hart was just going to be like, here's a contract. Bro, I swear, I was on some Cinderella vibes.
You know, rap is like that too. A lot of rappers are super, super delusional about what level of expertise they're at, or like what level they're at to perform or do certain things, or even put out music in a certain sequence, right? So every entertainer or artist has a little bit of delusionality, which is the only reason that they keep pushing forward, because they think there's an opportunity that will eventually come. Obviously, there's an unfortunate circumstance where some of those guys actually really do suck and there is no figuring it out. But then there's the delusional guys that, like, they have it, it's just they have to keep pushing forward until it works. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So when I look at you, I see the first guy where it's like, you know, you have no talent, right? Obviously, at the end of the day. And then eventually, I'm talking shit. You're so serious with it. Yeah, you're so serious with it.
Yeah. No, I'm here. I was waiting for it. I thought you were going to say some more shit.
No. No, but seriously, so you had the delusionality factor of I got to keep pushing forward. It wasn't.
Oh, bro. I feel like all artists, at some point, they have a delusional phase. And it's just like a phase. And then you grow out of it and you realize you're like, all right, bro, I got to put in work in the, like, you're talking about rap, right? Like, I'm sure you've met so many artists, like, you're like listening to them, you listen to their shit, and you're like, this is not good.
Yeah.
And in their mind, they're like, this is the dopest thing ever.
All the time.
And it's like, how the whole point of this game as an artist is to get to the point where your shit actually is dope and you're able to understand why it's dope.
Yeah.
You know? And I just thought because I'm so great, I was like, bro, I'm great. I'm going to be a star. I was like, I'm going to be a star. I can do shit. Like, I wasn't realizing the limits of my abilities. And then once I started to really explore it and really put the time and energy into being good, it just total game changer. Yeah. But in the beginning, bro, I was bad, man. That shit was terrible. That shit was terrible, player.
Talk about breaking into California. What was some of the first comedy clubs you went to?
Man, first comedy club I went to was the Ha Ha Comedy Club. Mm-hmm. I went there and I had something because like, after that first set, like even that first set that I did, like it was bad, but there was a moment where I got like a huge laugh and it was something that I just riffed off the spot. Like I think I was like, yo, have y'all ever been to Greektown Casino? And then people started to clap because I was like, I got to say something to get people to clap because right now it's just silence and it, like, you know, the beginning before a play starts, you'll hear like murmurs. It was just murmurs while I was performing. So I was like, they're acting like the show hasn't even started yet. In my mind, I was like, all right, this is not good. I'm doing bad right now. So I was like, I got to say something. So I was like, y'all ever been to Greektown Casino? And then everyone's like, woo! Everyone started to clap. And then I paused for a second and I was just like, why am I advertising another casino? And then people started to laugh. And I was like, so I remember when I left that, like it took a while. But then I was like, yo, I did get a laugh, though. People did laugh at something, and that was me being real. So I was like, I think there is a secret to this. You just got to be real. And then I just kept doing stand-up, and then the clubs that showed me love, like the Ha Ha Comedy Club showed me love, and then I was just doing a bunch of open mics. Bro, even to this day, bro, like clubs show me some love now, but, bro, no clubs really were like, we're going to develop you. we're gonna help you. Like I had to fight and get my own food, bro. Nobody was like, I'm gonna look out for you. I'm gonna have you open up for me. Like some people had me open up for them, but no one was like trying to develop me, trying to work with me. Like I had to get that shit on my own, which I'm grateful for because I think it made me fight.
Well, yeah, that's what you're talking about is going to all these open mics too. I'm kind of interested in that aspect because when I talked to Josh Adams, are you familiar with Josh Adams?
Myers? Josh Adam Myers?
Is that his last name?
Is he the guy that's like, yo, what's up, dude? What's going on?
No, he's from Detroit. He's like African American from Detroit.
African American.
Diesel's. You don't know Josh Adams? He's probably one of the.
Can I see him?
You want a picture?
Yeah. You got a picture of him?
Yeah.
Josh Adams.
Make sure not to.
Is he from Detroit?
Yeah.
So he's a Detroit comic.
He's like Trick Tricks boys. I don't know if you ever.
Oh yeah, I've seen this dude, bro.
So he was telling me we were having this kind of wild discussion where I was talking about commitment to entertainment because he's like, I'm gonna work a job while I do comedy. And I was like, well, don't you think the fast forward button is to quit everything and just go straight into it and keep working? And he's like, no, because even if you try to get to these clubs in California, they're all so overbooked with comedians that like even if you did live in California, you're not going to get as many open mics as you think you're going to get. So with you talking about it, it sounds like you were getting a lot of open mics. Like you were able to work on your act quite often.
Yeah, bro. I was paying to perform.
Oh.
Yeah, you basically these open mics, you pay $5 and they give you 5 minutes. So I had like a open mic fund where I'm like, cool, I got $100 a week I could spend on open mics.
So it wasn't hard to find open mics. Those are what you're saying?
Nah, easy, bro.
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. I found. I mean, some of them weren't good. Like I did an open mic in a laundromat, and like I remember when I was performing, like this one dude was like, "Excuse me, can you?" That's my dryer. I'm like, "Oh, my bad, man."
There's no way, man.
Nice, bro. Literally, that thing is in front of this dryer, and my man's he had his shit. So the thing is, I'm like, "Oh yeah." So he's like grabbed his clothes and like left, and then closed it, and I'm doing comedy, like, but no one's like really listening. And it's also like the people in the laundromat, while they're waiting, they can watch a show. So this dude basically made a deal with the person who owns the laundromat and was like, yo, I'm going to have comics come over here and we're going to invite people. And it's going to be an open mic that runs for 4 hours. So this guy would host a 4-hour open mic.
In retrospect, from like the event coordinator's position, was that like the dumbest idea ever, or was it unique and creative?
It was unique, creative, because sometimes it was popping, bro. Like
For
sometimes,
real?
yeah, bro. Because thing is, I've seen comics go up at this laundromat and smash. They'd smash. So I'm like, it is possible. You know, like I did stand up in this office building where this dude is just running shows like after work, and like he would have people come up and it was like a $5 open mic.
Yeah.
And bro, it's like it was terrible, but people would smash. Like I did some weird ass open mics, player.
What's the weirdest places you ever performed at?
Well, this was an open mic. I performed at a dog fashion show.
That's sick.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was bad.
Like your set or the event?
My set.
Oh, okay.
Because thing is, basically a dog fashion show has the type of clientele you think would be there. So it's just a bunch of like old white women. And I'm there, and I was like, I got to say something to relate to them. So I was like, so who's waiting for their husband to die? And then it was just silence. And then I was just like, anyway, so my parents are from Iraq. And then I started like talking about doing comedy, and there's no connection.
That's actually a great opener, though. Holy shit.
Bro, yeah, I'm just like, all y'all are waiting for your husband to die.
Yeah, because I was fucking so many married women at one point, and I was just like, bro, you know, for facts, we'd be seeing each other more if you didn't have a husband, and you don't want your husband. I was hooking up with this married woman before that didn't even admit she had a husband. I was like, you literally are standing next to him in your Facebook profile pictures. I know you're married, just admit it. And she wouldn't admit it. Every single day, he was a hunter too, so every single day I would leave the hotel room. I swear to God, I was like, I'm gonna get sniped today. Like, this guy is gonna find us and just take me out. But all the married women, I could sense like this, like they want to escape their marriages so fucking bad, bro.
Yeah, bro, that's hilarious. You're like, I'm willing to get sniped for this blowjob.
Yeah, after a while, it was stressing me out though, bro. I'm not gonna lie. After a while, I was like, shit, dude. Like, I don't know about this, like almost dying for some pussy, like type shit. Dude, when everybody's growing up, you always want to bang a MILF, right? Like
yeah.
And then you get the chance to do it like so often, and then you forget they're married though. So there's consequences to this shit.
Yeah, big time, player.
I was talking to actually one of my favorite comedians is Joe Rogan. All around favorite podcaster for sure. He opened up his own comedy club. Did you get a chance to check out the Mothership?
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, talk about that experience, man.
Oh, Mothership is incredible, bro. I was doing my own show in Austin, and I like popped into his club, and it was me and Kurt Metzger, great comic, and bro, his club is so fire, bro. It is fucking sick. The room is sick. The crowds are fire. People are there for. I did a show. The show started at 9, and it was 12:45, and they're like, "Yo, Paul, go up." And I was like, "All right, cool." And like, I'm like, bro, the crowd should be dead. And the thing is, it wasn't easy. It wasn't an easy room. If anyone is there for that long, they're just like, all right, bro, is this over? Like, fucking, I've been here for 4 hours listening to comedy. 4 hours of drinking, sitting. I'm trying to leave now. And also, attention spans are low. People can't even go an hour without looking at their phone. I can't even go 10 minutes sometimes, bro. Like, if I got idle time, if I'm at a red light, what's going on TikTok? Right? Most people are like this, looking at their phone. So imagine at a comedy club, they're there for that much time without their phone. Ooh. Yeah, bro. So it's like, but I'll tell you this, bro, they were ready. They were ready, bro. It was fire, man. Joe Rogan's Club is one of the best clubs in the country.
Yeah, no, it just came out, like literally, like just super recently. One of the stories that I know they were talking about, obviously, was the Comedy Store for a long time. I was always hearing about it. And obviously, one of my favorite comedians of all time, Paul Elia, runs that joint after Mitzi passed away. And like, did you get to perform there?
Comedy Store?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my own show there.
You have your own show at the Comedy Store?
Yeah, bro. For 4 years, I had my own show there.
I'm sorry I don't know this information.
Also a good player.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah. I mean, bro, you know, it's so interesting. It's like I'm spending so much time reflecting on where I came from and how I first started. It's almost like all these amazing things now are just like such a blessing, bro.
Yeah.
Man, because player, I thought I was going to have to move back to Detroit several times.
Yeah, talk about that. When you were starting off as a comedian and we're talking about the hard times of it early on, when did you start seeing, okay, no, I do need to stick here and just keep moving? You got that laugh at you did a set, you got to laugh at one of your jokes, and it kind of, did it plummet you into just keep going with it? Yeah,
I mean, I kept going, bro. The only reason why I ever doubted myself was when I had like $0. And, I was still living with Scripture at the time. So when I was living with Scripture, I remember I was like directing his music video for free. And then he was like, yo, you should buy the crew food. And then like I spend all the money on like getting the crew some food. And then I'm just like, fuck, bro, like, what am I doing? What am I doing right now? And every time I was going to quit, bro, this happened like 3 times. Like I had moments where I would feel the shards of quitting, right? I felt like I had to quit. And then something good happened. Something good happened. Something good happened every time. And then I kept thinking, man, when I want to quit, good things happen. So then I'll be like, bro, maybe I should just think I'm going to quit all the time.
What was the most significant things that were happening to really leap you forward?
Man, I was going to quit. And then I auditioned for this ABC diversity showcase. And then I got in. So it was like 2,000 people submitted. And they only picked 20 actors. And I was one of them. So when that happened, I was like, yeah, bro, because I told myself, if I don't get in this, I will go back home. Because I was just running out of money, bro. I just had nothing. And like, I couldn't ask my parents for money. I was too ashamed to like continue to ask them for money. And I'm just like 500 here, 600 here, 500 here, 700 here. Then it was 800 here. Because I kept like getting fired from jobs because I would get an audition. I would quit the job to go to this audition. Whoa. And then I wouldn't get it. And then I'm now got to look for a job again. Then I found a job. And then I'm like Googling. I'm like, how can I clean office buildings at like late night? I was going to be a janitor, bro. I was like, whatever I can do,
Is there anybody you could relate to at that time that was going through the same things as like you guys are both trying to break into comedy and into entertainment and the lifestyle you have to live in order to the sacrifices and the risks and the gambles you have to take? Like, could you see the similarity reflection from somebody else while you were on the grind? Yeah,
I had some people I was working with that were also on the same grind, like, and a lot of them quit, bro. A lot of them quit, man. And then the ones that did stick around, like, there was a lot of people in my class that started to like excel. Like, there's people I'm doing open mics with them. Then it's like, oh, dude, you hear Rel Battle just got cast in this TV show, and I'm like, he's in a TV show? Like, yeah, like even my boy Ron G got on a TV show, and then my boy Jackson McQueen kept booking commercials, and then I was like, damn, I ain't booking shit. So it was like it could be done. And I would see people that are my peers excel at a very high level. And then there's some who are just like never stayed at that same level, bro.
Yeah.
Some of them are still in the game at the same level.
I witnessed that too. Same thing with the music industry. There's rappers that are still doing the same exact things that they were doing 7 or 8 years ago. And then I see the ones that excelled and they blew up, and I also see the ones that quit. Because it is hard, bro. Like at the end of the, especially for a starving comedian, like in the rap game, there's so many revenues of income, and they're like high profit margins. Like you can make a lot of money in music if you find a path. With comedy, it's got to be super difficult because it's oversaturated. You're already in Hollywood, which is oversaturated. With it. Everybody's trying to make it as an entertainer out there. And then you're seeing like the standards of how much it takes, what it takes to succeed and become successful and actually have like a lucrative position. Bro, like, did you want to be rich? Like, what did you want to be when you were coming up? Like, did you want to just be like comfortable as an entertainer, or did you want everything? Like, what did you want out of it?
I want to be the best. I think that's what really drove me. It was just skill. I was like, I'm going to be the best comedian to touch a mic. And whatever I need to do that, I'm going to do it. And the results of that, inshallah, God willing, are going to be success and money and fame and celebrity and influence. You know, so all these things will come if I just try to be the best. So I was just like, I got to just be in the comedy gym. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was doing so many open mics.
Well, the part that really got me is that you were literally canceling interview or like quitting jobs to go to fucking interviews that you might not get.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Like that's
It's also dumb.
it is, but it like shows the like how committed you were to it at the end of the day. Because I've literally witnessed people not cancel a shift at a job to go do something that could be greater for them or bigger for them. And I always look at when people do that, I was like, and they don't have families, they don't have anybody that depends on them, they don't have anything, they just have themselves. I'm always like, what do you, like, how serious are you about entertainment if you can't call your boss and be like, look, I'm just not showing up at the shift, there's nothing I could do, I'm going to that, I'm pulling up to that.
Yeah, bro, we got one life, man. Like, I'm just like, go hard or go home, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I fuck this safe shit, you know? And it's so interesting, bro. You have such a like pulse on the scene in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you've met with so many different artists, from like ones that are like wildly successful and like, you know, so I'm sure you've seen all different walks of life, of work ethic and delusion, all these things, but you probably look at it and just be like, oh yeah, you know exactly what bucket they're in.
Well, yeah, that's why I feel like the relatability between like any type of entertainer, you can see everybody's path, right? And like when I'm hearing you talk, it's almost like that's for comedy, but it sounds exactly the same for rap. So probably everybody in their own entertainment categories going through the same difficulties, right? What was one of the first breaks where it's like you're actually starting to see money or potential for you to get at a bigger and bigger level of success?
I got asked to do comedy in Dubai, and then I was also losing a lot of money at the time, bro. Like, I was like, it was so up and down. Like, I booked this national commercial and I got like 15 grand from doing this commercial.
Sick.
And then I spent all the money on a blue Jeep Wrangler.
Sick.
Yeah. I was just like, I finally got some money. Now I'm about to flex and let motherfuckers know that I made it. You ever buy some shit you can't afford?
Yeah. But it's because you thought it was just going to keep coming, right? I'm assuming?
Yeah, bro. When I booked this commercial, the person who booked me, he was like, we're going to play this during the NHL playoffs.
Yeah.
We're going to play this afterwards. This is the Honda spring-summer sales event. It's going to play for spring and summer, which is what spring and summer means. That shit played half of spring. No summer. I got zero summer money. Just spring.
Yeah.
But I was like, I thought I was going to get like 50 grand from this. So once I got money, bro, and like, I was like, I can't wait to spend this. Also, at that time, I booked this movie and I shot in Hawaii. I got like, you know, I made some money off that shit. And then I booked like 3 TV shows in a row, like day player roles. But still, it's like, you know, you make some decent money. It's not a lot. Like, bro, like, you do one day on a TV show, on like a CBS show, they'll pay you $1,000 for the day. Then taxes, agent, manager, you have $500. And I'm like, yo, why am I getting paid a dental assistant wage to work on a TV show? I thought this is like the hardest thing to do, but it's like, money is shit. It's not great. And I was fortunate enough to like book a few things that were like paying a little more. So I got those joints and I booked this commercial. So I was like, bro, I'm good, bro. And then I started like lose money after I bought that Jeep. and things. I'm driving around this Jeep and like I got girls with me and like people are with me. Nobody knows I'm broke. They just see blue and they're like, yo, this guy's in a blue ass Jeep, no doors. Just, bro, I was gonna sell one of my doors.
So you did what everybody does, man. It's like, all right, I'm gonna make it look like things are happening bigger than they are happening. But in your mind also, you're like, I'm seeing success, I'm seeing money, you're getting great opportunities. These aren't like joke opportunities. Like even though you're saying $1,000, right, and that's a dental assistant's wage, there's like 1,000 other guys trying to get that one position, even if it was that $1,000. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like a perspective. You couldn't just get the positions you were getting. What do you think was separating you at that time from getting these positions that other people weren't getting?
Man, that first commercial I booked, bro, before that I booked that commercial, I auditioned for straight up like at least 200 commercials. Like I was getting like 4 auditions a week for commercials, right? And then I would get callbacks for all of them. So that means 8 auditions in 1 week. Like on Monday I would have 2, on Tuesday I would have 2. And then Friday, callbacks for all of them. And then I would go to this one, to that one, to that one, to this one. And then I would be on hold for like 2 or 3 of them. And on hold means it's between you and like maybe 2 other people. And then I wouldn't get it.
Damn.
And then next week, 4 auditions. On hold for callback for all of them. Sometimes, no, you're not on hold for any. Another 3 auditions, nothing. Another 3 auditions, nothing. And I'm like, bro, it's been 4 months. And I auditioned, man, almost 50 times. And I wasn't booking any, getting close as hell, not booking any, bro, still living with scripture. So I'm just like, dog, one of these got to give, man. And then I smoked some weed and I went into this audition for Honda, which was the first commercial I booked, and I booked it.
Did you notice that it wasn't the smoking the weed that got you the job, right? Like, did you change your like pitch?
No, I think I was just high. And then I walked in and like, I just saw like, the people who are like casting agents and the clients and the people from Honda. So I walked in, I'm like, yo, what's up, y'all? And they're like, hi, how are you? Like they like show no emotion. They're just like, hey, what's going on?
Robots.
Yeah, robots. And like, all right, Paul, so you're gonna basically open up this trunk and put your camping gear in there. And I'm like, oh man, I fuck with camping. And then there's like, like I hear them like giggling and shit. Also, I took a risk, like, yo, I fuck with camping. I just took a risk. And I'm like, cause they would be like, well, you don't swear.
Yeah,
because some of them are like, you know, we don't know what energy they're on, so I just took a swing, but also I was high. I was like, man, I'm just gonna be me, bro. I'm having a good ass time.
why is your impression of a corporation?
Hi, how are you?
Entertainers, so like they just drink 1,000 gallons of coffee and just sit with their arms tied behind their backs, like
No. This is them. If they were to like interview you or like purchase your podcast, if they're interested, they'd be like, so, kid,
yeah,
Kid L,
yeah.
Is it EL? E? Kid. Wow. They're like, so, where are you from?
Yeah. I'm from not this interview. I'm not doing this.
When they do this shit, they just nod.
I would never. I hate, like, I don't know how anybody deals with anybody that has robotic, like, atmosphere with them. Like, when you talk to them and it's just like they're just saying what they need to say that they would say to 1,000 other people in order to get through that conversation. Even like record deals are like that. I've been in rooms where people sign record deals and I'm like, man, this guy sucks that you're signing this deal to. Like, this guy has no emotion in his face. He doesn't give a fuck about this. It's like profit to them or just part of the plan. Like, you know what I mean? It's just
100%, bro.
Yeah, you're just part of the plan. Like, that's it's cool in one way because you get a job, but it sucks in another way because it's like, am I selling out right now?
Well, bro, that's what AI is going to do.
What?
I mean, imagine we're already dealing with robotic like humans. Now we're about to deal with robot like robots.
Yeah.
Fuck, bro.
It's a strange time.
Dog, I saw AI video. This motherfucker was on a BMX bike and he was doing the sickest tricks, but it was a robot.
Yeah.
Murdering it, bro. It was doper than watching a human. Because I was like, man, that's a cool ass trick. But I think there was a part of me that also felt like, there's something like, it's sort of like playing Grand Theft Auto on cheat mode, like on invincible mode. Like, and you give yourself 5 stars, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, 5 stars on GTA, they send tanks after your ass. Yeah. Like, they send the troops. So, but you can also do a thing where you're invincible. So imagine you're just driving around, you're just crashing into whoever, murdering a bunch of people, and you can't go to jail, you can't get arrested, you can't get wasted. After a certain time, you're just like, this is like Not fun, bro. It's like playing basketball with no out of bounds.
Yeah, because they didn't. First of all, it didn't take them any skill to develop their skills because they're robots. They're fucking AI. They don't exist, so they can just do whatever the fuck they want to do without anything that goes behind the story. And even basketball players, a lot of our favorite part about them is their story, the grind, the effort, what it took to get to the position that they're in to win a championship. But then like a robot can probably come in and just out hoop everybody.
That'd be hilarious. You talk to this like robot, they share their struggle story. I was a software.
Yeah. Like I was a microchip type shit.
Yeah. Little Micro. Little Micro is about to kill the rap game, bro.
Now, my friend was telling me that the other day because we were talking about how AI bots are making music now. And he was like, my little cousins listen to it and they fuck with it. And
Really?
I was like, they know it's robots. And they're like, yeah, they fuck with it, though. They fuck with it more than they're fucking with the regular music. So, hey, man, the kids are running the money. That's what I believe. Comedy's the only thing where I think in the entertainment form that they're not because they don't understand it usually. There's no kid comics that relate to kids. And kids can't really comprehend what the hell we're talking about half the time, right?
Well, kids are trying to comprehend to the level above them. So the thing is, it's like they're not trying to, if they're a freshman, they're not trying to comprehend with junior varsity. They're trying to comprehend with varsity. So they're trying to actually comprehend with like people like you, like, because they see you and they're like, oh, I want to know what Kid L knows. You know what I'm saying? I want to know about Drake and all these other things, like, because they're familiar with all these rappers and mainstream top Billboard 100, like comics who are popular, comics who are popular on TikTok, like my boy Matt Rife. You know, him and I started comedy together, and you know and kids are, you know what I'm saying, they're like, this is comedy. And you know, he's fucking hilarious, but it's like a lot of them, like, they don't know about, like, you know, maybe some other comics like Fahim Anwar, you know, or like Mo Amer or like Rami Youssef. They know like Matt Rife because it's like on TikTok. So it's like really the internet is telling the kids, because we got the same internet, you know what I'm saying? And I know our algorithms are different, but I think kids are just going to do what the algorithm shows them. They're like, oh, this is fire. I'm going to do this then.
Yeah, man. I was just telling my cousin, I was listening to my cousin about his theory about what's happening with the new generation of rap music and stuff. And then he's like, look, bro, you just got to listen to it. And he played the music for me. And I swear to God, you know that meme where the dad's listening to his son's music and it's just like, and it's like some guy just spitting noises out? Legitimately, that's what it sounded like to me. So my cousin's showing me this new music and I'm like, are you fucking like joking with me? Like, I don't hear it. I don't understand it. Dude, look, when Dave Chappelle was first coming out, bro, I'm not trying to be like all fucking like whatever, but my friends didn't understand Dave Chappelle until the Chappelle Show came out. They didn't understand Killing Them Softly. They didn't understand For What It's Worth. They didn't understand his Def Jam stuff. They didn't understand it until Comedy Central fucking put it on TV, bro. Like, it was the weirdest thing. I was like, bro, I've been listening to Chappelle for years before you guys even knew who the fuck he was. But it didn't break sense into them until it was on like a major platform. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro. A lot of people listen surface level.
Yeah.
You hear the words. You know, them, they just like see the image. And they're just like, what is this? He's wearing like a jumpsuit. Like, it's sort of like how my dad like looks at comedy. Like, I'll show my dad something and he'll be like this, what's he wearing? And I'm like, you didn't hear anything that he said? You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're an artist, bro. So you're able to like three-dimensionally look at shit. That's probably why you look at AI and you're like, this is lacking such a fundamental, important thing, you know? Like, even when I'm listening to music now, like, man, I'll pull up the lyrics and I'm like listening. Like, I'm like listening to the, you know, like Maja Jordan. And I'm like, I'm always like bumping them, you know? And I'm like, bro, let me like read their lyrics, bro. And I'm reading their shit. I'm like, bro, this is deep. And also, sometimes I'll hear what they say and I'm like, I had no idea that's what they were saying.
Yeah.
You know?
Because the soul of the music can sometimes give the meaning without you even knowing what the fuck they're saying exactly, and then it kind of like holds the weight for you to not know exactly what they're saying. But then sometimes you figure out what the fuck they're saying, and you're like, man, that is not what the fuck I thought you were saying. Sometimes I'll be listening to Tupac, and I was like, man, that's some real shit. And I'll read the lyrics, I'm like, man, I wish I didn't read that shit. Like, it changes your perspective in all ways. I want to get back on your story though too, man. Like, now you're getting these commercial roles, you're going to Dubai, you're finding some type of financial success somewhere in it, right? So what's the not only financial, but what's the stepping stone for you as far as where you want it to be in the entertainment industry?
I got my own show at the Comedy Store. I would do it with Matt Rife. So him and I started our own comedy show called Low Key Upset. So we did it at the Comedy Store, and we sold out almost every show we did. So we'd have a once a month sold out show, and we would bring like top A-list level comics. You know what I'm saying? Like we had like Russell Peters,
Wow.
Bill Burr popped in at our show, Elijah Schlesinger, Nikki Glazer. We were just getting the biggest comics to come do our show, and they would pop up and be like, "Oh, Low Key is happening, so let's go watch it." And then when the pandemic happened, there was no entertainment anywhere, and Matt Rife hit me up and he was like, "Yo, bro, we should just do a comedy show. Like we should do an outdoor comedy show, and let's put it together." So we put it together. We did an outdoor show. We sold it out. And then we were just the talk of the town, bro. And I'm like, that's so crazy. In the entertainment capital of the world, ain't nobody doing shows. This is where this Detroit hustle energy comes from. I'm like, bro, these motherfuckers are sleeping at home, twiddling their thumbs, waiting for the right time because they don't want to. I'm like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Let's do these shows outdoors, have everyone wear masks. We'll temperature check everybody. We'll social distance the chairs. And we just started doing shows, bro.
Yeah, man. I remember that was a legendary time. I remember Bert Kreischer was like really doing the outside shows, and I didn't even think that was like a thing. I was like, how are you gonna do an outside show with comedy? I feel like you need like that, you know, surrounding in that atmosphere and whatnot. Now you guys did it. How foreign was it to be having to perform outside and in front of kind of like less structure, basically?
I like it. I liked it better actually, because I think also I was riding the wave of like, you know, I don't need the entertainment industry. I'm doing this shit on my own. So I was riding on that energy, on this indie. I'm an indie artist with what a lot of people were saying was not only the only comedy show in LA, but a dope show. Like bookers of like The Tonight Show, people work at Netflix, people work at Fox, HBO, Showtime. All these huge network executives are coming to our show and showing up, bringing their little beer cooler, chilling, watching the show. And bro, we had everybody on the show. We had Bill Burr did our show, Ali Wong. We just had Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler popped in.
What the hell?
Yeah, bro. Adam Sandler. I was headlining low key. Like I just headlined it because I'm getting ready to shoot my special, and Adam Sandler popped in, and yeah, he just went up.
That's cool as hell. How do you figure out about the show?
He just walked. I don't know if he. I was in the green room, and this was my second time headlining low key, and we just sold it out at the Comedy Store, and then Adam Sandler came up, and then he was like in the green room. He was like, "Yo, what up, bro? What's going on? I'm trying to go up. That's cool." And I was like, "Dude, you want to go up before me?" And he goes, "Well, who's on the show?" And I'm like, "We got Marilyn Rice Cobb, Ian Edwards, myself. I'm headlining." He goes, "Oh, I don't want to mess up your shit, dude. Why don't you just go up and I'll go up after you?" So he stayed for the whole show. The whole show.
That's so cool.
And obviously you saw and heard my set. And then he went up after me. And then afterwards, he gave me a lot of really encouraging words, bro. He was like, you know, I saw some of your set, but I was mostly in the green room chilling with Dave. And I looked, I'm like, "Oh, it's David Spade." I'm like, "What's up, Blair?"
Wow.
And then he's like, "Yeah, bro, I just heard roaring laughter, very little low moments. And bro, congrats, man. This is really dope." And like, show me a lot of love. So, you know.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah, man.
You had to have grown up, and everybody was an Adam Sandler fan growing up.
Oh, of course, bro. But then I'm just like, man, look at the gifts God has given me, bro. Like, that's why I like reminisce on all those times I didn't have money, quitting jobs. I'm like, that's why I quit jobs to go to an audition, because I knew something like this would happen later.
Yeah.
You know, like I just felt it. It felt like, I'm like, man, something's gonna happen, bro. It has to.
Yeah, that's huge, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's like that's during kind of the pandemic era, right? Like,
well, I mean, to backtrack, during the pandemic era, like I skipped forward like 3 years.
Oh.
But during the pandemic era,
so this is recent. With
recent,
the show.
yeah.
Oh,
This just
okay.
happened last week.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah. That's why I got this jumpsuit.
Yeah, no,
I got
that's
Happy Madison confidence.
Oh shit, man! I appreciate that. I appreciate you being. This is one of the first podcasts you came on after this happening.
Bro, I love your shit, man.
Really?
Bro, you're hilarious, man. Like, I was even showing people the story you told me about the artist that you signed.
Yeah.
That just basically like ghosted you.
Mm-hmm.
And that the video of you being thrown and then the pan hits you in the head.
Yeah.
And then you just wash your hands.
Yeah.
Bro, what a wild combination. Because I'm just imagining, like, was that a real pan, by the way?
Yeah, dude, that was real. That wasn't planned. We were shooting what everybody was shooting, these TikTok skits where you get thrown into a kitchen while all this, Tupperware gets thrown at you, and it's your wife saying like, "Just do the dishes and shut up." So that was the whole TikTok thing. So I did it. I got thrown onto the floor by the sink, and then she threw the dishes, And then I don't know why, she grabbed a pen and thought that would be funny to throw it at the back of my head.
That hurt.
Dude, I had a concussion. I legitimately, when I got hit and I went down, I was like, oh, this is really happening. Let me fix myself up. And then I was like, a blowjob's not going to fix this. So I went to the hospital, man.
You went to the hospital?
Yeah, I literally had to go to the hospital. It was crazy. Literally, I had a picture of me like that was not funny. that wasn't part of the script.
Bro, do you know what's wild? I showed that video to a few people, and they're like, oh, that was plastic. I'm like, man, that sounded like real.
That was a real
That was made out of real pan.
Yeah, that was the real deal, dude. You have a podcast too, right?
Yeah. I like took a little bit of a break from it, man, because I'm just focusing on the special. Yeah.
Talk about the special.
Oh, man, I'm shooting my special in Detroit, October 13th and 14th. Yeah, it's called Detroit Player. Yeah, man. A lot of it is what we talked about. A lot of what we talked about is in the special.
Yeah.
It's just like my come up story, you know? So I'm really excited to put it out, bro. I've been working on this for a while. I'm very ready to tell this story, you know? Like, I feel like all the grind, all the mics, all the shows, all the travel, all the brokenness, all the everything, bro, like, really built me tough to, like, say this shit, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to come out at a really good time. And I had opportunities to shoot this in other places. Like, there's places in LA, there were places in Arizona, DC. They were like, yo, we'll sell this shit out for you. Production companies wanted to get involved. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm doing this shit independent. I'm raising money independently. And I'm shooting this in Detroit. Yeah, bro.
That's brilliant, bro. You figured out a system in California, right? And that was working for a while. And when did you know that it was time for a special?
So Matt really took off last year, and he started to just completely blow up, bro. Like, this guy, I remember we went to London last year. Like, I would get those Facebook 1 year ago posts. And 1 year ago, I'm like, damn, 1 year ago, we were in London doing 150 seat venue and only 40 people showed up. And literally 1 year later, we're doing 6,500 seats in Bend, Oregon. Sold out. And the show's sold out in under a day.
Wow.
And people are having myths. They're like, I heard it was 6 hours. One guy's like, I heard it was 2. And the one guy's like, I heard it was only pre-sale in the fucking. And I'm like, these sort of conversations of like how this happened are happening. And these conversations would even happen before that. So I feel like when Matt started to really take off, and I helped him produce his first special. I produced his first 2 specials. And I think that motivated me. And I was like, bro, I got to tell my story, bro. I'm ready. What am I waiting on? Like, I'm waiting on like someone to come up to me and give me a deal. I'm waiting on Netflix to be like, all right, yeah, let's do your special. I'm waiting on HBO or whatever studio to tell me that they want to fuck with me. And I'm like, nah, bro, I'm just going to shoot on my own. But the reservations I had were, oh, then I got to raise money. Oh, then I got to do it on my own. Oh, I already got so much going on. I feel like I'm blowing up right now. Let me just wait for someone to just come at me with a deal so I don't have to work so hard. I'm thinking all these things. And then I was like, fuck all that noise. Fuck this whole, I want to wait for people. I want someone to come at me with a deal. Just do the thing.
Right.
Just do the thing, bro. If you're hungry, make the food. Just make it. Don't be like, oh, I got to wait for the right me. Then I got to wait for next week for this one. Nah, man. Like, but I will tell you this. There is a lot of value in being patient. But there's also a lot of people who are stagnant because they're too patient. So I had enough wherewithal to be like, I'm waiting for no reason. My shit's ready. And then I would show it to people. Like, I filmed my hour and I showed it to my buddy Azhar Usman, who is producing my special. And he's a comic I look up to. And I'm like, yo, I shot my hour. What do you think? And he's like, bro, yeah, you ready, man.
No.
So it's like everyone who I was talking to was like, yeah, this is ready. So I'm like, well, everyone else thinks it's ready. How come I don't think it's ready? You know? So that's why I'm like, yeah, man, I gotta put this out.
Yeah. Do you still got time?
Yeah, I got time.
Okay, cool. Let me just make. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow, bro, you quit. I quit.
What are you talking about, porn or?
Porn.
Oh yeah, 7 days ago. Today.
7 days today you quit?
Changed my life, dude.
Wow.
I feel like a different man.
Bro, this is the vibe.
Never not watched porn for a 7-day shoot before?
Nah. We'll talk about that on the podcast. Are you comfortable talking about
Bro, yes, man. I mean, I talk about this also in my specials, so it's like, I have I thought a lot about this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'd love to hear a fellow sober.
Yeah, well, so I was like an alcoholic since like 12 till now, basically. Not a full-time alcoholic, just at night, you know what I'm saying? Like, a bottle at night. And then I realized how much it was affecting me. And I realized like I wasn't dreaming anymore, really. Like, I think like I never really was dreaming, because when you're drinking a lot, it actually messes with your sleep schedule pretty badly. And then I also noticed that watching porn was affecting my sleep as well, and my dreaming and all that stuff. So when I stopped both drinking and watching porn, all of a sudden my dreams were like vivid again. Like I could remember things, like I could recall the days, the past. I'm like, wow, man. So basically from age like 18 to 30, I was an unconscious human being. So that's why I stopped like doing all that shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Why'd you stop?
Man, well, first of all, bro, I think a lot of people, bro, they never get out of it. They just like stay in it because it's like routine. And breaking routine is like one of the hardest things ever, bro. So like you're like doing one thing. Like sometimes I feel that way with weed. Like I'll smoke weed. I'm like, every day I need to have at least one hit. And then when the day's almost over, I think in my head, I'm like, wow, I went almost all day without smoking. I should smoke to celebrate. Then I'll smoke. So breaking routine is difficult, bro. So, and you haven't had a drink since?
Yeah.
How long's it been?
Well, listen, the drinking thing is 7 days, not that much to be proud of, but I did it for a 6-month stretch at one point. And the only reason I went back is it was like a fucked up day when I was working. I was like at an event and some fucked up shit had happened to me. So that night I was like, bro, I don't know how to not like be calm about this, or how to be calm about this. So I just drank that night, and then I went back into the rotation after 6 months of quitting. Then I started to realize, like, if you start looking at your body and your mind as a cyclical pattern that's constantly happening, and you actually really pay attention to it, you can see the cycles repeating and repeating over and over and over again. So you have to make a conscious decision to break the pattern. You have to be like, okay, I see that I'm constantly doing these things over and over again. If somebody, what they call triggers you nowadays, starts triggering you in this way, then you start reacting in this way. If somebody triggers you in that way, you start reacting in that way. So I was like, what am I, a fucking monkey here? Like, nobody should be able to control how I feel or what I do throughout the day. And just because I built up this karma over time of being a drinker and a smoker and watching porn doesn't mean I can't stop that one day. So I just like made the decision. I was like, today's the day. I'm stopping all that shit. I'm just going to go forward. Because if I don't, then I'm just going to be a fucking monkey. You're just going to be doing the same shit in the same fucking Ferris wheel all day long.
Yeah, bro. The world is designed for the motherfuckers to like fall back in the race is when you're stuck in this loop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you break out of that loop, bro, you actually can advance. It is, you said it perfectly, bro. It's like you were on a monkey on a hamster wheel or a hamster on a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
Whatever animal that wants to be on this wheel, it's really about the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Hamster in a wheel, man. Pretty much.
Shit.
So what happened with you? Like when were you just watching too much, or was it just like?
Man, I think I looked at the narrative of what the porn was, and I was like, man, I can't watch this stepmom destroy her family. You know what I'm saying? The dad, he ain't even home. He's gone, and he's obviously excited about this new marriage. You know, and then he leaves to go to work, and then I started like examine what is happening, and sometimes, bro, the stepson is just like hanging out. He don't even want to fuck. He's just like hanging out, and then the stepmom's like, "Hey, you want to help me with this this thing?" And then he's like, "Yeah, sure." And like so vague. First of all, it's like, motherfucker. So I'm like, bro, this guy's obviously naive. And then he shows up. The mom walks around, and she's wearing like a tennis skirt. Bitch, don't play tennis. And she's not wearing any underwear. And then you like see like the boy like look at the ass, and then like you slowly see him get like seduced. And then I was like, bro, not only is porn like a commercial for incest.
Yeah.
Bro, porn is a commercial. I'm like auditioning for commercials. Let me get this incest porn. I'm like, hey. Yeah, bro. So I think I started to look at it this way, and then I was just like, oh man, I think for a while I was looking at it just as like gratification. I'm like, oh, look how hot she is.
Yeah.
Look how sexy this is. Look at her body, how fine she is.
once you start looking outside of like the general porn theme, which is like, what's general porn? Like the general porn we grew up with is a guy and a girl are just fucking seducing each other and they end up fucking. That was like the standard for porn.
Yeah.
And now I was like, I realized I had a problem when I started looking up like the time freeze guy. He would literally like freeze girls like with a time thing he had. It would stop time, and then he would just undress them and start banging them. And I was watching.
Are they
him.
still frozen?
They're all frozen.
They're still frozen?
It's fucking heat, dude. It's like a Japanese dude, and he's like on a train with a bunch of Japanese chicks, and he like freezes time, and then he can do whatever he wants with these women. Then I was like, bro, I have a problem. Watching this is like kind of fucking creepy, dude.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, and I was like so into it, and I was like doing the thing. I'm like, wait a minute, man, this is fucked up. Like this is like kind of like what a fucking would do. Like, why am I so into this weird ass shit? And then I got into guys. This guy had the craziest OnlyFans, dude. He had an OnlyFans where he would like hide cameras in the massage parlors and just like film the whole experience of getting the massage and then banging the fucking masseuse after. I was like, this is fucking fire. It's only $80 a month. This is heat. And then I just knew, it was like, dude, something's wrong with you. You shouldn't be watching spy cam footage of a fucking masseuse getting banged.
Well, bro, when you zoom out even more, bro, basically the shit that like people don't want to listen to, the glacier, like how you said people look at Dave Chappelle. I don't get it, but you're like looking at three-dimensionally, looking at our addictions three-dimensionally. Yeah. Which is the hardest thing for people to do, because they'll do it, bro, and some of them, they can't even handle it. They'll just like run. They'll just like fucking run. Yeah. They'll like cry, or they'll fucking, you know, they don't want to face it. But bro, you zoom out even more, you're essentially watching this dude like in a private act, in a private moment, and you're sort of like watching like from the curtain. So basically, you are the camera. So the thing is, to do that, I'm like, wait, but how am I making money? How am I making money just watching this motherfucker? Yeah. And I'm giving him money? You paid for his massage. You know that, right? You paid for his massage so he could fuck.
You're absolutely correct.
And I ain't paying nobody to get massaged except me.
Yeah.
But bro, I'm telling you, like, man, I applaud you for being so comfortable saying the things that you were into, because a lot of people, it's like they're into some weird shit.
Yeah, sometimes we cut these cameras and people are like, yeah, you gotta delete a lot of that shit you said, right?
No.
Like, it's like,
bro, you're a comic, bro. Like, this is fucking hilarious.
I appreciate that, man.
That's funny as hell,
This is just
bro.
real life.
Bro, because basically it's like the dude would freeze time and just mannequin a bitch.
Yeah, dude. That's fucking heat. And now they got Bored and Ignored channel, which is basically like you're banging your stepsister and she doesn't care while you're doing it. She's just like letting it happen, like, all right, hurry up, like get this over with so I can get back to my game. And I'm like, this is fucking fire. Like a bitch just not giving a fuck that you're banging her. Which is crazy, because last year I banged like 45 women, right? It was like,
you counted?
Oh, dude. I was in a relationship for 8 years of my life. So
8 years, player?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 31.
31.
So
man,
everything
young.
after that, I'm keeping track, dude. When you're in a relationship, how long was the longest relationship you ever had?
The one I'm in now.
How much long is that?
A year and 8 months.
A year? This is the longest relationship you've ever been?
Yeah, man.
Are you happy?
Yeah, she's cool. She's cool. I think it was difficult to, just quick sidebar, and then I want to get back to this. Yeah. But I didn't know how to love, because I was so much on some, rubbing my hands with no lotion energy. You know what I'm saying? Just on some horny dude out here looking at porn two-dimensionally, because I was looking at porn a lot, obviously, and being with, multiple women. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there's a lot of shame in that, and like thinking, but also it's just like, yeah, bro, it's the truth. So it's like most people, they don't know, the shame is so strong, they don't know how to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with my girl, I think it was my first time, like, I've never been in love, so I know how to talk about love. I didn't know how to like be with someone and like love them and be like, I want to marry this person. Like, I never felt that with a girl before, ever. You know what I'm saying? So like it just happened when I was 33. It happened when I was 33. You know what I'm saying? So this relationship is dope, and I feel like I am coming, like, because I don't watch porn. When I met her, I stopped watching porn. I stopped watching porn for 3 years.
Fire.
3 years, I haven't seen any titties on TV. But I do watch yoga videos on Instagram.
Yeah.
You watch those?
I mean, I do yoga, yeah.
No, but like you watch the girls on Instagram?
Oh, you were getting off on that?
No, I'm not getting, but the thing is, I retired from getting off while I'm looking at a screen.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, really, I gave up masturbating to technology in a lot of ways. Like porn, which is what porn is. Porn, the only medium of porn is, unless I go to a live sex show, which I'm not going to go to.
Yeah. Who does that?
Yeah, I don't even like strip clubs.
I don't either, but when I was single, dude, I can't talk about any of this stuff. I keep getting in trouble. Every time I talk about sex on my podcast, like...
What happens?
Dude, so when I was dating a bunch of women at once, I would like tell their story. God, I shouldn't even be saying this. I would like talk about my stories with them. I'm not saying this. Never mind. I'm erasing all that. The reason I can't do this is because I can't have sex with other women if I ever do this.
Why?
Because if you tell women that you talk about them on the podcast, like, oh, this motherfucker kisses and tells, you can't.
Well, the thing is, what I would tell them, what I would invite them to believing, I'd be like, listen, I'm not kissing and telling. I'm actually kissing and showing. Because there's some other person going through this. So the thing is, I'm not saying your name, so I'm just talking about this idea.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what I'm about. Be like, yo, I'm about points. No. You know, this is a much larger issue here. No. So actually, they should be thanking you.
They should be thanking you.
They should tell you, Kid L, which I'm sure they call you that.
They call me L.
They call you L.
Yeah.
How come not Kid?
Huh?
How come not Kid? You don't like Kid?
No woman ever felt comfortable calling me Kid. Look, man, in the 45 women...
Hey, kid. then you see a stepmom.
Right. That's how they felt. No, in the 45 years that I was hooking up... I mean...
45? Motherfucker, you was 31.
Let me reset.
2 bars ago.
When I hooked up with 45 women in the past couple of years, okay, like a majority of them were MILFs. And they were not calling me... You know, they weren't...
The return of the Jordan. Was that intentional?
What?
The Jordan number 45?
No, that's what ended up happening. I was just like going door to door, just making it happen.
Door to door dick sales.
I was just making it happen, dude. I was going nuts, and then obviously I met the girl that I actually fell in love with, and then she stopped the streak. It was over after that. You got to sacrifice. You got to be like, all right, that's over with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. I'll tell you this, bro. You know, in a lot of ways, like when you're with somebody, like temptation will always be there, but then it's like how you manage it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always gonna be girls that are gonna like 5 year videos in a row, and they're fine as hell. Which is the new what's up? It's just liking 5 photos in a row. Because basically it's like a girl like 5 photos in a row as her way of like, you know, the Facebook poke, remember that shit? Yeah. It's basically that. And then you look at her profile, then you like 5 in a row, and then you follow her. And then she's like, I'm gonna follow you back. And then it's like, it's on. Right?
Your strategy's good.
Did you not follow that? Did you believe that strategy?
My strategy is much simpler, man.
Well, what do you do?
I mean, that's classified information, man. I can't.
No, bro, come on, man, share.
I'll send
Put
you
this on Patreon.
We both have girlfriends. We can't even. What we're gonna give out scriptures for it, man. We did,
scriptures.
That's what they are.
The Book of Kidel, Chapter 8.
I am gonna write a book.
Verse 69.
One thing we skipped that I don't know how we didn't get brought up, but I did actually see you on Conan when I was watching Conan.
Word.
Yes, and now it's so crazy because I was like just refreshing myself on your history, but then I was like, I fucking saw this episode because I used to be super into Conan. Like I kind of was a little bit. I took a little bit of a style when I go to live events and I interview people. There's a lot of it is Conan. People don't even realize it. Like just off the wall thinking, being ironic and shit. How'd that opportunity come?
When I was working on that Ray Shremmerd pilot, the writer of it was like, "Yo, bro, my girlfriend is a writer at Conan, and I told her about you." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm working with this guy. He's a comedian. His name's Paul Elia. Have you heard of him? You heard of Paul Elia?" She goes, "No, I never heard of him." And then he was like, "Bro, this guy is great, man. He's so funny. His improv is great. Like, he does stand up. Like, I think he'd be good for Conan. Like, you should like consider meeting him." So he put in a word to his girlfriend. So she emailed me and was like, "Do you want to do background work on this Conan sketch? You know, if you want to, it's available for you." So then I started to think about it, and I'm like, bro, I just got done doing a TV show with 2 of the biggest artists in the world at that time, right? I still think they're dope. Shout out to Slim Jimmy and Sway Lee. Sway Lee.
That's pretty big, though. Sway Lee, yeah, Sway Lee was killing it.
Bro, he was, man. So I was like, I ain't gonna do this, bro. I just got done doing this, bro. And at the time, like, I did multiple appearances on TV shows, and I was doing stand-up, and I started to build a name for myself. Like, you know, I did my show at the Comedy Store. So the thing is, it's sort of like, you know, you like a rapper that people are like, oh, this dude is like on his way. You know what I'm saying? Basically, I'm on my way vibes. So I felt like I was too big for that, to do extra work. You know what I'm saying? on some, I want to talk. Remember, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I don't know if I want to be on that energy, but I was like, you know, man, I should just go because I love the show and let me just do it. So I decided to go and I did it. And they basically had me playing some like Jersey Shore type guy for a Jersey Shore sketch. And the thing is, they kept showing me so much love on camera. And the thing is, I kept making them laugh. Like, thing is, they're like, all right, Paul, now I want you to go whisper something in this dude's ear. And then, oh no, this dude's gonna whisper something in your ear, and you guys just like start to like bro it out. So in my mind, I'm like, I think I got a idea to tag that. So this dude like whisper in my ear, then I would look at him, I'm like he's insane, and then I'd like bro out immediately. Yeah. So it's like, and that just got a laugh. So I basically was like, oh, let me add some comedic timing to this, some style to this. So they really liked what I did, and then they invited me back to do another joint. Yeah. And then they invited me back to do another one. And then they were like, yo, we're going to do one where you're just going to talk and play this character, and you're the main character of this piece. So I was like, cool, I'm about to be the main character of this piece. And they're like, they're actually thinking of making this a recurring character on Conan. They sent me the script. That shit was 7 pages long. Monologue. And I was like, dog, I'm about to say all this. I just went from not saying shit. Now I got all this to say. They're doing it live. One take. The script the day before. Bro, I memorized everything on some like Detroit 187, like memorizing the lines when I was a stand-in. Memorized all the lines. Came there, and they're like, we're going to cut this. And I'm like, oh shit, but I just memorized this a certain way. And then, bro, I'm like, I'm about to pee my pants, bro. Whoa. About to go live with this huge character that they said they may bring back. So I'm just like on some mom spaghetti. But then I was like, man, whatever, player. Whatever happens, bro, it just is what it is, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if I mess up, I'll just fuck around. Oh, who cares? You know what I'm saying? So I did it. They had me cue cards. I'm like, I don't need the cue cards. They're like, no, you're going to read it off the cue cards. I was like, it's not going to be real if I read off the cue cards, bro. Like, it looks cheating. I got to make this shit, I got to be dope, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to do behind the back dunk. I'm not going to just like dunk it with two hands. And everyone's like, yay. Like, I'm bouncing off the backboard, behind the back, fucking through the hamster wheel, somersault. Yeah. That was the energy I was on. So I did it, didn't look at the thing. I did it, and it worked, and it worked out, and it was great. Yeah. And then they just kept bringing me back, not for that character, but then I started to do more and more sketches with them. So, yeah, it was dope, bro.
What was your relationship like with Conan? Did you get to spend time with him?
Yeah, we would joke around. Like, he's such a comic, bro. Like, he's such a clown. Like, he don't care who you are. If you say something funny, bro, he loves riffing. Right. He's like a riff artist.
It seems like comics have like a it's just like I keep comparing it to the rap game because it's like when you're in it, you're in it. It doesn't really matter what level you are. There are obviously always going to be ego freaks, like the guys who are like don't look at anybody type shit. But it's like once you find a certain level of independence and success, then everybody's like becomes a peer. Like, I'm a comic, like you're a comic. We're both trying to get on stage. Even Sandler coming up to you at your show and being like, "Is it cool if I come on?" It's like it's a comic to comic thing. Not I'm Adam Sandler and you're somebody that doesn't have my money type thing. It's
yeah, man. I mean, at a certain point, I hope people can get past that. Like, there are some people that are on that vibe, right? And really, it's just sort of like, you ain't on my level vibe. And it's cool, bro. Sometimes there's such a long degree of separation. It's like, you know, someone at a very high level, they're like, why am I going to sit here and just talk to you, bro? You're just asking me for advice. And it's like, motherfucker, figure it out. But when you're on this is my peer, it's different, you know? Yeah, so he looked at me like a peer. He's like, oh, this guy's clearly hilarious. This guy's clearly, I keep bringing him back. They wouldn't bring me back if they didn't think I was funny. He thinks they're funny. And I hear him like crack up. You know what I'm saying? We would like riff. Like, I wasn't afraid to riff with him. You know what I'm saying? Like he'd say to me, like, hey, Paul, they brought you back? I was like, I'm actually sneaking in. Yeah. And then he's like, well, shout out to our security. You know what I'm saying? And then we just start riffing on you know, security. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you guys are fucking comics, man. And there's like a mutual like respect, right? That's fucking cool. Rap's a little bit more different. There's more egos like inflated around and stuff like that. So it's a little more difficult to maneuver to some degree. But once you find your own independent ground, then everybody's like, they open up towards you a little bit more. I'm talking about my own obvious experience, but it can go for almost anybody, really. Talk about Bill Burr too, man. Like, you had a lot of cool ass people at your show, man. That's one of my favorite comedians of all time. Talk about the experience of working with him.
Yeah, bro, mine too, man. This was during the pandemic. We were the only comedy show and one of the only comedy shows in town. There were some other people doing shows, but they weren't live audience sitting in chairs. They were like car shows. Basically, people would be in a car and watch comedy and honk the horn if shit is funny.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't bad shows. I never did one, but people were telling me they're not terrible. So we were the only live show. And then my buddy called me. He was like, yo, Bill Burr's trying to go up. I told him he should go up at your show. So he said he's down. Like, he's going to call you. I was like, cool. So I get a call. I'm doing my show, and we advertised a special guest. We had Tom Segura on that show.
Oh, wow, man.
So we had Tom Segura, Andrew Santino, Ian Edwards, Erica Rhodes, Matt Rife. I was hosting it.
It's crazy, bro.
So we're hosting the show during the pandemic, during the California fire, the big one that happened in 2000, during that event. So the whole sky, bro, is red. It's fucking ash. It looks like the Upside Down. And people are there to see comedy. And you look at the sky, and it's red, like fucking on fire. And there's ash everywhere.
Whoa,
and we're doing a comedy show. It was like fucking Mortal Kombat level. I thought Scorpion was going to pull up.
It must have been easy to make jokes, right? To use that as a icebreaker.
Oh my God, because it was told that basically what the word on the street was that this fire was caused by a gender reveal. That's what caused this fire. And then so I went on stage, I'm hosting, and I'm like, yo, man, so this fire obviously is caused by a gender reveal, and people are upset. How come nobody's asking if it's a boy or girl?
That's hilarious.
I mean, it's red, that it might be a woman. And they were just like, I was like, bro, having the freedom to just clown around. And I feel like to what some people might consider a high pressure situation. Oh, I got Bill Burr on my show. Oh, I got Tom Segura on my show. Oh, I got all these huge acts, and we're the only comedy show, and there's all industry, and there's Hollywood here, and the thing's on fire. I'm like, player, I'm on some, man. I already won. This is a victory lap. Doing well on this show is a nice to have, not even a need to have. I don't even give a fuck. They're here. I won, bro. I'm having fun, man. So my mentality, I feel like now, like this mentality that I'm walking with just makes things so much funner and easier, bro. So like Bill hit me up. He called me and he goes, hey, Paul, it's Bill Burr. Hey, man, where do I park? And I'm like, oh, man, you can just pull up over here. I opened the gate for him. He pulled up, went into the green room. I was like, yo, you need anything? He's like, no, I'm good, man. When am I going up? I was like, when do you want to go up? I was like, he goes, just put me like towards the end. So I was like, cool. Put him up. I went up, Tom Segura's on stage, and I'm watching. And bro, I was like, man, Tom Segura's on stage doing stand-up in a pickup truck. Bill Burr's in the green room. We got all of Hollywood here. The world's on fire. Hell yeah, player.
That's so legendary.
Yeah, man.
That's so legendary, bro. You literally were just like in the zone. You were like embracing the totality of being a comic. You're running a show. You got a bunch of legendary other comics surrounding you as well, man. That's awesome, bro. Like, for real. From a person who's like looks into that field, and I really admire everybody. I'm a huge comedy fan, bro. Like, huge. And that's like one of the coolest stories I've ever heard about that.
Wow, man.
No, seriously, I'm so deep in comedy that sometimes I'm like, man, why the fuck am I in rap? Like, that's how like invested I am in comedy. Even when you bring up Tom Segura, bro, it was one of the new generation of comedians from like the past 10 years. That's one of the guys that like I really picked up on. Like when I was finding him, Gaffigan, Kreischer, Theo Vaughn. I'm listening to all these cats. I'm like, this is the next wave, bro. Like, this is happening right now. And you said your boy, right, Matt's coming up. Like, he's already doing his thing and making it blow up. You're on your way. You're blowing up. You got your show coming out. You got a special coming out. The thing that sucks about this talk is we have to end it shortly, which sucks because I have so much I want to talk to you about. But a couple notes just for comedians that are watching to kind of get to where you're at, and people who are idolizing what you're doing. Talk about some of the hardest things every comedian has to go through, and talk about things you wish you could kind of change in the comedy world to make it easier for everybody that deserves a chance.
Man, I wish I was more patient. I think I wasted a lot of energy on not being patient, because I think when you think with patience, the scope is wider. You start to operate a little differently. When you start to operate out of panic, it's just you start to develop a lot of blind spots. So I was like, man, I wish I would wrote more. I wish I would have not try to worry about going up at like every major comedy club and just focus more on the craft. Because a lot of what was motivating me to like do so many open mics and do so many shows was like, I can't wait to like blow up and do these big shows. I couldn't wait to buy a blue Jeep. I was like, man, if I would have been patient, bro, I think things would have been a lot easier. If I would have been like, no, let me keep my car right now, I probably would have had less panic in my body. But the thing is, the panic is what led me to where I'm at now. So in a lot of ways, it did work for me. But I would say I think there's definitely ways where I could have dialed shit back and documented more shit.
Yeah.
Like the only thing I ever really documented was when I was doing stand-up in 2013. I was doing stand-up at, they had this open casting call for the NBC Stand Up for Diversity. It was an open casting call. Basically, it's launched the careers of several comedians. And it was basically an NBC-sponsored thing. And then you get cool with NBC, and there's some people who got their own show on NBC because of it. It's like this talent search that they do once a year. It's a first come, first serve. They have it in San Diego. They're only taking 300 comics. People were flying in from Atlanta, from Tennessee, wherever, to wait in line. It's like a crazy Black Friday sale type line. I got there. I was like the 8th one in line, bro. And then I was like, I don't want to lose my place in line. I don't know how these motherfuckers be. I don't know if they're vicious. I don't know if someone just takes my shit. Those like, no, you're not in line no more. And then I don't know. Because it's like you're dealing with a lot of desperate energy. You're dealing with a lot of insane people, bro. So I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. So I'm going to bring my shit. This is my spot, right? I brought a pillow. I brought a blanket. And I slept outside. I took a picture of my bed. And I was like, man, I'm gonna remember this. So that's when I took that picture. And then, bro, I'd look at that picture all the time, bro. All the time. It was my wallpaper on my phone. I'd look at it and I'm like, yo, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. So I feel like that plus patience and also just documenting more shit. Like I should have like done more. I probably could have made a sick ass documentary with the more footage I would have got. So, I think when you move patient, you start to focus on the memory of it. You start to like enjoy the moment.
Yeah. And for the comics that, do you guys all share certain thoughts and feelings about things that you wish you could fix about the entertainment scene itself when you look at it collectively?
Nah, man. I like the way it is.
Really?
Yeah, bro. If you funny, people will know. If there's every outlet to show that you're funny. You can do Instagram, TikTok, podcast. You can make music, like, and be hilarious. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, bro? It's like, just do the thing. Be hilarious. Like, I don't think the business holds anybody's, like, if the business holds you small, but everyone else is undeniably, like you said, Bert Kreischer, Bill Burr, you're naming all these, like, huge, the top A-list level comedians. They are hilarious. They are. No one is bad. Comedy is subjective, but it's like, bro, they're murdering. You can't go on stage and talk about that shit. You can't. Like, they're the top people in the game. You know what I'm saying? They're the tastemakers. Like, whether if you don't agree with that, you're a hater. And you're delusional. So it's like, fuck, can't remember.
Be funny.
Yeah, be funny.
Yeah, Joey Diaz was saying that one time. He was like, man, it was like a certain point when I was trying to do comedy, and he was like, I was trying to be so, logical with everything, and I was trying to be like so organized and so this and so that, and he's like, I just forgot to just be funny. Like, just go on stage and just be funny. Like,
yeah, bro. Same thing with rap, bro. It's like, oh, you're a fire rapper? All right, cool, man. Why don't you rap about some real shit that people are going to talk about and try to dissect? And someone's going to make a video trying to be like, what does he mean by this bar? Oh, there's actually this beef going on over here. And he said this because it addressed the thing that said that. So it's like a quadruple, triple entendre. Then it's like, and it's so effortless. And then the two-dimensional listener was like, oh, that's cool. And he had that bar about this thing. I don't even know what he was saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, write music like that then.
That's why comedy, like you said, like, the top dogs can make anybody laugh, and I think when you're not it doesn't matter if you're at the top level or not, but like those guys can make anybody laugh just because they're so skillful and crafted at the end of the day. The younger guys, the guys who are coming up and are the upcoming, they have to play to their strengths, right? And playing to your strengths can be so many different things, but just always remembering in the back of your head to just be funny. Like, it's not. You don't have to make everything so convoluted and complex. It's just like go on stage and just speak your heart out. What's his name? Came here, Joey from Full House. He was doing a seminar here a few years ago, and he talked about that. He's like, if you're just really real, if you just really put yourself out there, you'll find success in the comedy world. Because what's comedy? Truth and pain, right at the end of the day, and everybody has truth and pain. Instead of going on stage trying to make yourself like this thing or like trying to be a comic or trying to act like a comic, just be you and be funny. It's like be self-deprecating or give us something to relate to or talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. And it's hard for people to do that because all they want to do is be famous.
Yeah. Brilliantly put. Tell everybody about the show one more time, bro.
Yeah, man. Detroit House of Comedy, October 13th and 14th. We're doing 4 shows First show's almost sold out. We still got tickets for the next 3 shows, man. Love to see y'all there. It's going to be a vibe, bro. And also, you got to pull up.
I'm there.
Yeah. Pull up, man. Bring whoever you want. Bring homeboy. His tooth was hurting.
Hell yeah.
He was talking about how his tooth was hurting.
And then the special is that going to be on like Netflix or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm going to drop it on. I'm going to just sell it, bro. I'm just going to put it on a site and be like $10, bro.
Bet. I'll buy 3 copies.
3 copies?
Yes.
Spend $30?
Yeah.
You buy one and watch it 3 times.
Yeah, but then I could give it as a gift to other people. You know what I'm saying? We can compare notes and be like, yo, how funny was this?
Well, the thing is, with all the cut and everything else, like, you might as well just Venmo me $4.40. Because going through there, then they get all the money and shit.
Yeah. Damn, dude, that sucks. That's low
No, we got a better deal.
Okay, all right, good. I'm about to say it, man. Talk to those
guys.
people.
I'm keeping, I'm gonna keep it for the people, bro. I'm paying for this, with a lot of my own money, and I raised a lot of the money on my own. So it's like, if you want to support, that'd be dope, But definitely putting it out there, and we'll put it on YouTube eventually for free. But I'm on some pre-release. Pick it up.
Sure. Very cool, man. Appreciate you being a part of this. Wish we could talk longer, man. Look forward to coming to your show soon. We're at Parallel Sound Studio, High Low Visuals, shooting these productions. We're out. Peace.